Thank you so much for stopping by. I welcome you to today's session. May God bless you. Um, my word of comfort for you in this time that we find ourselves is that Jesus said, "My peace I leave with you, not as the world give, give I unto you." That's that. Jesus has envisaged this kind of time, and He has talked about it ahead of time. So He didn't leave us as orphans who do not know what's to come in the future. But the problem might be that we neglect what Jesus says and what He said ahead of us. There's no comfort anywhere today if you check it well. Check any country, continent in the world, is it a political problem, a terrorist attack, or pandemic? It's quite sick. The world is sick right now. But the health is in Christ Jesus, who before time had warned us that only when we get to Him is when we get peace. So I rather ask you that, are you rightly aligned with Him? Do you even trust His word in the first place? If you don't, please, you really need to reconsider your ways, because yeah, how will you pass from hell to hell? The world is in a very deadly situation right now, and in all of this, something should strike a chord in your heart to trace where the world has gotten it wrong. And if the world does not declare itself being wrong, you should trace where you get it wrong. One, Jesus cannot be wrong. Two, he cannot be at the wrong place. Three, he cannot say the wrong thing. So if anything is wrong with the world, it is we who make up the world that are wrong. In any case, I would advise you to get back to the study of the Bible, observe what Jesus has said about the end time, and apply it. It might sound naive, but then, yeah, Jesus owes no man no explanation. What he says he knows will come to pass. He owes nobody no logical explanation, no chronological order of things. It is you who has the responsibility. Perhaps a God whom you can understand at a go, or who makes all things easy for you to understand, it should be sacked. It's not worth your God, because is not intellectually sound as well as you are. But a God who can lock down some things and say you go find it out, then he has authority over you. A God who cannot control me, I rather know or discard as an idol. Yeah, so please, my brother, my sister listening to me, get back to what God says about this hour. And if not, at least he offers hope and peace in traumatic circumstances. So I implore you to get back. Let Him comfort you at this time. Realign yourself to Him. Don't run far from Him, because I know He's right at your hand to help. He's very willing to help. If He left heaven, the ambience and the glory and the majesty of heaven, to come and die for you, He's not dying again, so He can still come to your aid. True men, true circumstances. Who knows? May God bless you. So, what do we have on our list today? Um, Subsequently, we're going to be studying the book of Genesis, like you can see on my screen. Genesis is study. So we're going to break Genesis down into some bits and pieces. I'll go into details afterwards. But then let's just, like I've been doing in the past videos, we just want to get a pictorial overview today. And yeah, so that you understand what are the major themes in the book of Genesis. So this is what we'll be doing. Our highlights: one, we'll see the emphasis in Genesis. So let's dive in. So, what are the emphasis in the book of Genesis? We can see there were major names there. We have someone like Joseph, someone like Abraham, someone like God, someone like Jacob, um, someone like Adam, um, and many more. That was like, it was a story first of God, how God made man, engaged man, and finally disengaged him. So the whole story of where we are finding ourselves now can find its course in the book of Genesis. This book is one of the most important books in the Bible. Just imagine, why humanity is in the chaos we are right now is because we are like a river who's flown past our source and cannot find our way back there. Or if there be a single link between the source and the current state of the water flown away from the source, then the trend will continue. So at this point where we find ourselves in this world right now, what do? Genesis is the book of books, is the source of the story of mankind. It was God who wanted to extend his kingdom, just like every other earthly prince who want to extend his empire. He came down to extend his kingdom and created this earth. Then give like a governor, that's mankind, the authority to rule in this estate of his. And then that simply tells us, like every other governor, we are accountable to the authority from whom we get delegation. That we shall see here. That's why you see there are many trends of censuses, God counting down from this person to this person, how humanity passed from man to man and stuff like that. More so, you remember in the book of Matthew that Jesus prayed, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven," which meant the original plan that was forfeited, or the original intention that was lost in the book of Genesis, was what Jesus was praying that should be restored right in the very genesis of the New Testament. So it's a restoration that Christ came for. God bless us. So that's that. So let's just see what's the authorship. Is a book in the Old Testament having 50 chapters, one um, one book, of course, 32,000 words, 1,533 verses. It's classified as law, but I do not go with that. I rather go with history. Then Moses was the author, yeah, our great scholar. Then now we just touch on the book of Genesis 1, and we observe too what's the major theme there. So yeah, it's not surprising that the most eminent person here is God. Yeah, is his story is about him, is him telling a story of himself, a story of what he wants, the story of where he's headed and where he started from. Is him. So it's like you come into my house right now and you want to go through my gallery. The most frequently mentioned person is going to be me, because all events in my gallery normally should revolve around me. So it's God showcasing his gallery and talking to Moses, and then so it's not surprising to find God is the most recurrent person in Genesis chapter 1. And the earth, yeah, this was his estate where it was an extension of heaven, where he wanted man to rule as the governor of everything. But then man messed up, so you can see why earth is so bold there. Then we see firmament. Firmament, I mean, the whole of the world is made up of so large expanse of water, so much so that God had to suspend some of those water in the sky and leave some on the earth. And we've not explored one third of the water of the earth. That you can find out yourself. And we see waters. There were too many waters, like I said. We see kind. Um, we see morning. The kind here meant like type. There were many times that God said, "Let there be," and then He seconded the command by saying, "Let them produce after their kind," like let them reproduce um, something similar to them. Yeah, that's why we find kind here. Then we see morning, evening. There are, yeah, morning, evening make up a day. So it's not surprising. It's frequently reoccurring. Then we have night. We have heaven. Yeah, that's the original kingdom, and the earth has He given us a place to the Son of Man for their own rulership. Yeah, thank you. And just as a fact, we see that the most the chapter with the highest number of verses is Genesis chapter 24. Just as an overview, Genesis chapter 24, and let's just have a better view of what is there. Yeah, we see what the people: Rebecca, Abraham, camels, master, lord, servant, drink. Yeah, this tells us, this gives us an insight into what it is, that this must be the chapter where Abraham sent his servant to go and look for a wife for Isaac. And yeah, son was frequently mentioned here, not Isaac. So yeah, we can conclude that. I hope we're not wrong, but I think it's so. So we see Master Abraham camels. Yeah, they had to draw. I mean, Rebecca had to draw water for camels, and it was Rebecca frequently mentioned there. Yeah, it was there's water to worshipped. I know the servant of Abraham worshipped when he saw Rebecca, and yes, I think yeah, to drink, Rebecca had to feed a lot of camels with water. So I think that's why it's the longest one there. But then, yeah, that's it. The shortest of all is chapter 16 with 16 verses. That's and it was about, I think if we see to we can guess what it is. Abraham, Lord, Sarai, Agar, Ishmael. Yeah, this must be where um, Ishmael had to be sent away with together with his mother. That's the first occurrence. Yeah. So yeah, we can see bear. That means it meant there was a childbirth in the story. Sarah, yeah, was an actress there. Perhaps that's where she told the man, his husband, to go sleep with Agar. And yeah, that's it. The name, and yeah, I think they named the baby here too. The angel of the Lord must have appeared to somebody somewhere. And yeah, she was an Egyptian, so it's quite obvious why these are the most evident person there. So right now we've seen the emphasis of Genesis, we've seen the authorship, we've seen the genre, that the genre is law according to unanimous agreement, but I don't believe that. And yeah, let's see the roadmap for the study of the book of Genesis. Briefly, we're just going to divide the book into passages. Like say for example, we're starting from Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 to 5 for the first account. Yeah, Genesis chapter 2, that will be passage 2 all till we finish. The main aim of this is not a scholastic um, approach to make you know many things about the Bible. No, that's not the approach. The approach is that we find cogent things to draw from there and apply to our lives. Then we can find it can be as though we found water in a thirsty land. That's and what represented thirsty land, the likeliness of men not to think the Bible is applicable to their circumstance. But then we can dig wells by searching into the scripture, then find water in this thirsty land, so much so that when men will be rewarded in heaven, be like, how did you find that? Jesus found us. That'll be the reply. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the plan. And in subsequent videos, you're going to be seeing Genesis chapter 1 verse. So we're going to 1 verse 1 to say 5. We study what God had asked for us there, which preeminently you must have an idea that that's the creation account. So God bless you. I'll be expecting you subsequently to stop by, and thank you for your patience. May God bless you. Yeah, please stay safe. I can only wish you all the safety God has, all the peace He has, all the comfort He has in case you've lost a family or two. Find your course back to Jesus. It comforts, He helps, and I pray that even in these circumstances, people find Jesus. They find hope in Him. They find life in Him. They find restoration, more importantly, in Him. God bless you. Thank you once again. See you in the next video.